Hi, I'm Cynthia Day, and you are watching another episode of Empower Her. We don't have my co-host Maria Day with us today. However, we do have a fabulous addition. I want to introduce my beautiful counterpart, my work wife, my business partner, as well as in crime. No, I'm just playing. Miss Nacole Ricks.
Thank you. This is so exciting. I am very excited to be on Empower Her today.
Yes, absolutely. So Nacole and I actually have a very cool and unique story. So she and I learned firsthand about the power of collaboration within the culture of our organization, and that's how we met.
That is indeed. So we were at a company convention and we met and just clicked and just couldn't be separated from that point on. We knew we were going to be doing great things together. We had an amazing goal, like right off the bat, of just the creativity that was coming from our conversations, and spending a few hours together turned into a partnership that will never end.
Right. I mean, I cannot tell you, how much I believe that this is truly a God thing. I do believe that both of our divine assignments led us to each other to fulfill our purpose that we have in life and to create transformation in the lives of others.
Absolutely. That is definitely one of the pillars that we have been working on since we started our partnership, is really sitting down and knowing what's important to us as individuals, how we come together as partners, and then what we want to be able to help other people accomplish. And so with talking about that, we have expanded so much just since the beginning of our partnership that we're excited to share that with you.
Yeah, absolutely. So as you know, I've been in the real estate business for a good 13 years now. We're not aging anybody. And I've also had a very, I've had a long, successful career. I've not done anything other than real estate since 2009. I worked it full time. I did not have a job. I don't even know what it's like to get a paycheck, from an employer. This is all that I have done, literally. And, I've created my own success track record and things like that. And Miss Nacole has also done the same. I mean, go ahead and talk about your successes within your career as well.
Absolutely. So exactly the same as Cynthia, which was one of the things that brought us together. We were very, very similar. We believe there's only plan A. So when we both entered rental estate, it was exactly the same as plan A for me. I entered and there was no looking back. I was successful right off the bat, just as Cynthia was. And so all of these different things that we came together and found that were very similar helped us to grow even further into what we were already doing. So with me, I haven't been in for 13 years, only 5, but those 5 years have been doing very similar things. We both have teams. We both had, a lot of specialties going on. We both specialized in luxury properties. And so everything we spoke about just was amazing. We enlightened the world by just a little conversation. We're like, oh my gosh, we both do this. Oh my gosh, we both do this. And so that's part of why we were able to really collaborate right off the bat. It's just the connection that we were able to have and understand why we were doing it. I think that was the most important part of it, is we weren't doing it for glory. We weren't doing it for a title. We were doing it really for our teams.
Absolutely. And to really dig into that, I do have to say that the thing that really contributed to our success within our career was the way that we value our relationships. I absolutely have built a business on relationships and nurturing my relationships and, really growing beyond, just skin deep, with the people that I have the pleasure of doing business with. So Nacole, we have a beautiful partnership and relationship. How do you believe that that the value that we provide to the world, how does this relate to other women partnerships out there?
Oh my goodness. Well, that's a really good question to ask, because how did it make us build what we did and how that can relate into someone else's business? Or just a simple partnership that is outside of the real estate world, right? Because what we have is not real estate specific. What we have
Very true.
is relationships that we can have trust. And we can build that connection and feel like that we are always going to be protected by each other throughout the entire journey that we're building together and going down. So how does that relate? I believe that every single partnership needs to be I believe that every single partnership needs an authentic connection to be able to scale at the levels that you envision scaling at. So if, it's all about, and I'm sure there's a Bible verse you guys have read, but it's about God saying that, with one person they can do 1,000, and with 2 people it's not 2,000, it's 10,000. You can do 10 times what you can do by yourself when you really find the right partner. And we truly believe that that was the divine assignment for us, is that we are to do 10,000 versus 2,000. And so with that being said, if you really find that right person, that's key. The right person that can have that same vision of building a relationship off of trust and core values that you both believe in. And really understanding that this is a long-term relationship. It's like a marriage, work wife, right? That we're gonna not always agree on absolutely everything. When we sit down and create a vision, it's our vision, not her vision, not my vision. It's our vision. What does that mean? It's part of her vision, part of my vision, and the vision that comes together as the creative parts of our mind. And so I think that any partnership out there really needs an authentic connection to build that relationship.
I would totally agree with you. And, you know, authenticity within people, right? When you share the genuine authenticity, that is truly where magic happens. When you both create a space where you have the freedom to absolutely be genuinely who God created you to be, right? And so partnership is really, I believe that partnership is the way to do business now. It's all about collaboration. So now you might be asking the question, well, you know, how do I align with my tribe? How do I find my partnerships, right? So Nacole has actually done a beautiful job of empowering other women in real estate. And you've got a system in which you actually motivate and you empower women, right? They could be perfect strangers. You could just be noticing their level of success, that they're out there killing it, right?
Absolutely.
They're showing all of their successes on maybe even social media.
Absolutely.
And you're sending them like empowering, inspiring messages.
Absolutely.
And it is creating an environment for authentic conversation to take place. And this is when, like, you just have, you know, excuse my language, but you just have the balls to, you know, step to someone and, you know, forge, you know, an opportunity of communication.
Love the way you said that.
Yes, and then from that, it's like, you know, you get to nurture little seeds and a relationship gets to grow. So talk to us how you do that.
So exactly what she said about the seed to start off with is every single relationship starts with sowing a seed. And every single seed is sown by the words that you speak, the things that you do, the places that you go. Those are the seeds that you're sowing. The thoughts that are even in your mind, right? So when I walk up to someone in person, or if I'm messaging someone directly on social media, that's exactly what I'm doing. So I'm sowing a seed. I don't know what the fruit is to come of that seed, right? So an apple tree, you plant one apple tree seed in the ground, and when that apple tree grows, you have no idea the number of apples that are gonna come from the tree. Right? Only God knows how many apples are going to be produced from that tree. It may be an apple tree that produces one apple or 25,000 apples, right? So at the end of the day, open up yourself to those opportunities to have an authentic relationship opening with just a seed of a conversation. And it can be an empowering statement. It can be a little quote that you send out to someone. You know, obviously when we're on social media, we're going to see those people that are like killing it. Right? They got their social media pictures. They got the right filters. We don't all
looks perfect.
We don't all have that, right? But especially when you're seeing someone very active on social media, you can definitely identify them as a person that you would like to connect with or not. And so we attract ourselves, right? So we attract that person. If you're that go-getter and you want to go do it, well, you're going to attract those people. And you just start to really comment authentically on their post. Either, you know, if it's in a group, which, you know, I do a lot of that. We try to support the people who are in real estate and the women in real estate as far as when they're in groups. We'll comment, congratulations on that first sale, congratulations getting your license, whatever it may be, to really encourage them and show them that there is support in the industry, that there is people who are here to just empower the other women in real estate. And so it doesn't have to do with, you know, alternative motives or asking for a partner. It really just has to do with sowing those seeds by every word that you know, speak to someone, even if it's in a DM or if it's in a comment on a post in a group. So that's what I've done. And with that being said, I have incredible partners.
So it's all about, you know, giving life. You know, that's what sowing seeds is. You know, that's the importance of growing something from nutritious soil, right? Like, you know, what kind of thought process, what kind of influence, what kind of new information can you introduce to the world around you? And then, you know, from that, you know, how is that going to bring life into the people that you get to impact? You know, how do your words and how do the things that flow from, you know, healing out loud, from living out loud, from laughing out loud, from being, not being afraid to just be, you know, how does that liberate those around you? And how does that give other people permission to do the same thing for themselves? So literally show up, be out loud, be your most authentic, real, true, genuine, sensitive, loving, crazy, hilarious, knowledgeable, you know, self, and spread it, you know, really spread it, because a lot of times you can, not disempower, that's not the word that I'm looking for, but withholding information and keeping things to yourself doesn't do the world or your community or other women around you any justice. It doesn't necessarily empower them, you know, to grow or introduce anything new to them that they could use to transform their life or to tweak or to change their life in some kind of way that it would make a big difference a few tweaks later. You know, you have no idea the power that that we have the ability to instill with others just by being. So, Nacole, one thing between you and I and the soil that we are, growing ourselves and developing ourselves out of is, one in which we are constantly empowering each other to become, right? Like become the person within that it takes, because that type of person would naturally do the things that it takes, right, to fulfill the shoes of a person who would go out and lead in transformation. Yeah, so how are we doing that?
So I think you pointed out something really, really unique. Not a lot of people talk about sowing seeds in soil. They just talk about sowing the seed. But where are we sowing our seeds? Are we sowing them in nutritious soil? Are we sowing them in moist soil? Or are we just sowing them on pebbly, rocky soil?
Yeah, because we don't want nutritionless apples. We don't want poisoned apples. We want healthy apples that bring life into people when they eat it. So
with abundance. Absolutely. So we were talking about the other day, you can sow one seed and that seed can either produce one apple on that apple tree or an abundance of apples on that apple tree. And it all determines by what soil the seed was grown in. So every single day when we wake up into our partnership meeting and we're coming into it, we're ready to just drive home what we're accomplishing that day. We start off with nourishing our soil. That's the first thing we do in the mornings. We're nourishing our own soil, and that may be something that we do, pray, meditate, whatever it may be. And then we come to our partnership and we're nourishing that soil. If it's going to be reading a book that's helping us to grow, if it's to listen to one of our coaching sessions that our coaches are teaching us, if it's to be able to improve however we need to show up better that day and the next day.
Amen to that. And what we have also done is we have created what we call incantations.
Yes.
So Tony Robbins actually, I don't know if he was like the first person that ever came up with this, but we program ourselves, we program our mind so that we begin to believe who we are in order to show up and be the woman, right? So, we say these affirmations out loud to the point to where we're feeling them in our body, right? We're programming our body to be, right, the person that naturally shows up. So
because we all have these limiting beliefs. All of us do. It doesn't matter if you're aware of them or not. We all do. And so with being in that position where you're surrounding yourself with people who are empowering you to do more, this is where these statements come from, right? Who are we becoming? Who are we going to be? Because these limiting beliefs are keeping us where we're at.
How are you going to get yourself out of orbit? So this is your current mindset, right? But you dream of something that's over here. You want this life. You want to experience these things. But your mindset and all of your beliefs and all of your habits that stem from your mindset are over here. What are you going to do differently that is going to project you out of this orbit and into this direction of this orbit? And that's what we do.
And that's how our passion really expanded. And so much so, we actually started coaching people on it.
Absolutely. I mean, between you and I have literally knocked down so many, just comfort zones, let me tell you. And between her genius and my brilliance, no, your brilliance and my genius, no. But between her genius and mine, literally, we have come up with very cutting edge solutions to today's problems in the real estate housing market. And we're excited to be able to bring these fresh new ideas and easy, simple practices, right, that are very applicable to today's world. We're not still, creating out of the past. We are no longer in 2018 or 2020, like this one would say here. All of that is a thing of the past. We're moving forward. The world is changing. Facebook is called Meta for, you know what I mean? Like the whole world is about to go into a video game, for crying out loud. Money is becoming digital. We are changing and evolving with the times, and it's very much a big core value that we have. So it's exciting that we get to create a system and a process that we can lead others through to keep them current in their real estate business with today's actual solutions, with solutions to today's actual problems.
Constantly evolving, never sitting still. Like, we come up with too many ideas too fast. All of our team is like, oh my goodness, can we just get through one at a time, please? Because that's our point behind everything that we're doing, is that the world moves so fast. that there's no way that one individual in a lone solo little, part of the earth on a lone little island is going to be able to really know how to move along with that evolution of how fast our technology is moving, how fast our world is moving. And so we brought a lot of ideas and implemented these ideas, and our clients are getting incredible results.
Oh, I love it. I love it. It's on steroids. I just absolutely adore it. So, I love evolving, I love changing, I love moving with the times. And, when you've got a partner that can, get in those trenches with you and bring their brilliance and add so much value, and to really help you make things happen, it's the most beautiful synergy ever.
So with that great results our clients are getting, we expanded our coaching program. And with that, we created what we call the Trust Builders Network.
Yes.
Tell us, how's that new to you?
So we are expanding the number of trust builders throughout the world in the real estate industry. And we are actually really excited to be able to impart a lot of our experience, right, into agents so that they can level up, so that they can, show up for themselves and, really elevate their level of production in their business and be able to do so in a very innovative way that is very, that's futuristic. I mean, it's literally moving into where we're going into in the future. And so we're excited to share these ideas and, to share all of our trade secrets that have worked for us, that have, contributed to the amount of success and production that we've had in our real estate businesses. So we are actually expanding our coaching program, and we are creating more trust builders. And so whenever you see us out there really advertising a lot of our proven processes that we are currently doing. Like, this is not something that we're just talking about. We're not just making things up and pulling them out of our rear end. Like, these are definite processes that have worked for us and are working for us. So we're excited to be able to share these processes with you, especially if you're in the real estate space. And whenever you see, us around and you want to come join a challenge or a boot camp or a masterclass to come and learn these processes, definitely jump on board. And we'll always continue to keep our audience very informed of when these dates are happening.
So the challenges that we are hosting and teaching all of these wonderful things that we have proven over the last 6 months, over the last 2 years, over the last 5 years, and kept on with the things that are still working as things are evolving, right? And continuously making those processes better. The idea is that whoever decides in the real estate world that they are ready to scale their business, they're ready to go to the next level, or they're just burned out in production and really need to develop a team, or ready to really take that team to the next level in their production, they join our challenges. They're joining our challenges so that they can see what's the easiest way for them to be able to scale, either their personal production, their team production, and that is a way that we help them get out of the roller coaster of real estate. Because we all had it. We were all new agents at one time, or just got in a rut of just this roller coaster. And we don't want people to have to suffer the way that we did. We now can share that, like, little shortcut.
Yeah.
Don't do that anymore.
Don't do this. Save yourselves.
So, and on top of the challenges that we do, we really help identify the path that's best for each of the people that we work with. Once that person decides, comes into the network, the first questions we ask them is really, what do you want in life? What do you want this to look like? How is that going to make you feel? What's that goal that you're looking to achieve and why? And then set a path that gets them there. A lot of those goals we've already achieved. Maybe the hard way or the easy way.
And who are we talking about specifically? We're talking about licensed real estate agents. So, if this is something that, you come into and you're a brand new agent and you want to go ahead and take on a proven process, right, that solves a big problem in the lack of inventory world, and you want to learn how to take on listings in a very unconventional and cutting edge way, then this would be the perfect type of information for you to be able to learn. If you have been spinning your wheels with a bunch of buyers and you want to learn how to begin taking more listings and learning the more cutting edge way, an effective way of guiding sellers and finding more inventory to sell to your buyers as well as sellers, then this would be an excellent course and process for you to learn. If you are a team leader, and you have multiple agents that are, under your tutelage or under your brand, this is an excellent process and system to have within your brokerage to be able to learn some cutting edge ways of building a private inventory.
Well, exactly what you just said. The bigger your team, the more leverage you will have. Ooh.
Preach,
So, so that being said, you're talking about growing that team as well to have more leverage, right? So team leaders and brokers, this is the ideal system because you do have a larger network with leverage.
One very unique aspect in the niche of real estate professional that we are really geared towards is definitely that top producer and that team leader, or even that independent broker. Okay, or that independent broker. We bring a level of entrepreneurship and development there that really helps because a lot of times, learning how to work on your production, how do you produce more, is working inside of your business. Another really unique, a very unique angle that we actually provide is how to develop the entrepreneur in our clients so that they can not only just learn how to teach their agents how to work in their business, but also how do you work on your business effectively. And this is my personal story right here, which is the reason why I'm so called to help the people, because a lot of times our passion and our purpose is found within our pain. So for a long time I struggled as an independent broker and learning how to effectively work on my business. How do I trim the fat? How do I keep the profit margins higher? Right. So these are definite things, and creating a lot of clarity because that's exactly what leaders need is clarity. You cannot lead without knowing without certainty or with certainty where you are going. Okay. And that is the most effective and respectable way to lead. And so developing the leadership, developing the leader within the person is number one, the most probably unique aspect of our coaching business. And then number two, just from a systematic standpoint, how to set up the process within your business. And that's, mainly what we wake up and what we work on within our own personal business every single morning with EOS.
So what do you mean by the process? So everybody has a different end result, a different goal, a different outcome that they're looking to achieve. And this is not a plug and play system where we say, okay, well, you have to have this end goal to be in our coaching program. There's not just one path. The unique part is that goal is different from everyone, and we really focus on honing on how to achieve that goal, because a lot of it has to do with your mindset. A lot of it has to do with the people that you surround yourself with. A lot of it has to do with the support system and the shortcuts to get there. When I say shortcuts, we're not talking about not putting insulation in the walls, right? We're talking about the shortcut that you don't have to go around and around and around to find the solution that you were looking for. Trial and error, because we've already been through it. And so we can just give you that information once that information is suited for your goal. Once that information is suited for what you're looking to accomplish, then we're going to share what that next step would be. And that's the unique part about us, is that we're not just looking to plug and play that, hey, you need to want this goal. No, it's your goal. It's your passion. It's your vision. And that's just our job and our passion to help you achieve it.
Yeah, one big epiphany as, we've really been developing ourselves that I've come up with is that, so just to give you a little bit of background, I've always had a coach, since, probably year 3 of my real estate career, year 2 of my real estate career. I started hiring a coach to help me learn the things that I didn't know so that I could continue to progress and get better throughout my career. And so one big epiphany that I've realized is that, Nacole and I are the type of people that will cut the check so that we can cut the line. And what does that mean? We've got coaches that are constantly pouring into us, right? Shining the light, showing us what we don't know and where we're going, So, we wouldn't dare reach and, try to shine the light for others if we're not having the light shown for us. So, we are the type of people that will cut the check to cut the line. I don't want to have to take the hard way, like she said, the long way around all the time with all this trial and error. It's expensive.
So what is the cost of what we don't know? We don't know the cost of what we don't know. That's so important that once you are in a position to have an open mind and understand that you don't know something, and we work towards finding out what you don't know, which we found out that a lot of times a coach is really helpful in finding out what you don't know. And then once we realize we don't know, we calculate what we could have known 5 years ago and realize the cost of what we didn't know for the past 5 years cost us thousands, millions of dollars. And so what we've done now is like that shortcut that you're talking about, cutting the check to cut the line, that's part of it. That I could have known this information if I would have gone ahead and had this specific coach 5 years ago. I could have made an extra $3 million. And and what that would have done for my family, what that would have done for my team. And so the cost of what we don't know is most likely more costly than what we even know. And the interesting part about what we're doing, we have multiple coaches. So all of the things that these amazing, amazing coaches are pouring into us, we get to turn around and share with you. All of the knowledge, all of the mindset that they're transitioning us through, that all pours right into our coaching program and pours right into our students. And that transitions into a transformation for your life, not just ours.
Yeah, it's legitimately the gift that continues to give. So that's how we're creating waves. That's how we're transforming lives that go on to transform other lives, that go on to transform other lives. The transformation is beautiful and it's infinite. And I mean, it's from God. It's from purpose.
Absolutely.
So I'll never get sick of this. I'll never get tired.
No.
All right. So thank you so much for watching today's episode. Thank you so much, Nacole, for the beauty and the value that you continue to bring, not just in my life, but now we get to bring it to other women's lives around the world.
Well, thank you so much for having me today. I have really enjoyed this, and getting all dressed up in front of camera and get to share our story is really inspiring, not just to our partnership, but to continue to grow and really see how many lives we're going to transform in the next year.
Awesome. So if you liked today's episode, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. You can find us on YouTube, on Trusted Results Realty Group, Find the Empower Her, all of the Empower Her episodes there. And you can also find us at Trusted Results Realty Group on Facebook. We also have an Empower Her page on Facebook, and find us on Instagram at Trusted Results Realty Group as well.